Good afternoon. Welcome in. It is Tuesday, April 22nd, in the year of our Lord Trump. This is Bruce Leonard Leans Left. While it's still legal today. I believe they put a hold on it, an injunction to keep it legal for a while. How you doing? Thanks for being here. If you're here, there's a lot going on, as usual. I don't know if you know about the drunk Hegseth sent the war plans, not just to the people in the Signal chat, but he had another chat with his wife and his brother and somebody else, and he sent the plans to them as well. It's like a Facebook Messenger party, only with war plans. He's like, hey, check it out, man. They got the war plans. We're going to hit them at this time. Hey, Julia. Yeah, it's... And he keeps saying, oh, no, this is nothing. These are all disgruntled people. Okay, so what's this been? It's been 90 days, about? Not quite 100 yet. And they shared a war plan. They walked people out of the Pentagon because there was leaks going on. And turns out the leakers were people that worked for him. People here pointed. Apparently, it's so bad that they're like, we need to let people know how bad this is. This is terrible. This is no way to run a country. I don't think that you realize how fucked we are from top to bottom. I mean, I don't want to tell you that because it's fucking depressing, but the truth is, in every conceivable way possible, we are fucked. They get rid of the CDC. They're getting rid of people that track diseases and shit. They're getting rid of food inspections. They're getting rid of fucking... I said you got idiots running the Pentagon that don't know what the fuck they're doing, which means that we're not secure, and they're sharing national secrets over Signal chats, which means that no other country is going to tell us what the fuck is going on. Like, we're in the dark now. I hope you know this. Get a candle or something. Because we are out there now on our own. And the stock market had the worst April since the Great Depression. And these people are still walking around like nothing is happening and everything is fine and that Trump is the greatest leader they've ever seen. It's like, you wonder how those people drank the Kool-Aid at the Jonestown. And here's the thing that people don't think about, okay? At Jonestown, right, a lot of people drank the Kool-Aid because they wanted to. But a lot of people didn't drink it because they wanted to. They drank it because the people that wanted to forced them at gunpoint to drink it. Or they shot them. And that's what you're doing to the rest of us. You're dragging us all down this fucking hole. This manufactured conspiracy reality that was constructed. I mean, I guess it was out there before, but the COVID bubble really congealed this bubble into something that I've never seen before. I'll give you an example. Stephen Miller, who we all love, little Stephen the Nazi, he started this thing about, well, if the January 6th people didn't get due process, you think that these guys deserve due process? And first of all, that's complete and utter bullshit. All those people January 6th, they were able to go to a judge. They had a lawyer. They had trials. They went through the whole fucking process. Okay, what you're talking about is no process whatsoever. It's not even the same. But anyway, the point of it is this. So I turn on Instagram today, and there's some guy I know, some fucking dumbass conspiracy jerk off. I mean, this is what's fucked up. In person, this guy's cool. I'm friends with him. I mean, I've been friends with him, but he posts ridiculous, dumb shit on the internet because he believes anything he fucking sees, and he's posting the same thing. Like, well, January 6 people got due process. Like, what? First of all, you obviously don't even understand what due process is if you're buying into this bullshit, comparison. It's not even a comparison. Those people got full due process. I said, they got lawyers, trials. They That's why it was even more outrageous to pardon them. Some of them pled guilty. Because they knew they did it, and they're on the fucking film. It's like, so they pled guilty, so they fucking get a lighter sentence than they would if they tried to fight this ridiculous charge that they knew. Yes, I did see that. They got like a fucking coloring book that shows them how the court works. I saw that. It's disgusting. Yes. Sorry, I didn't read it out. Julia says, Bruce, did you see that they're making migrant children go to court with no legal representation? Yes, I did see that. Every day, every single day, for me anyway, it gets harder and harder to live in this country. I mean, there's always been part of me that like I knew what this country really was, but it's all out in the open now. This country's, I said, filled with ridiculously stupid, racist bigots that have constructed their own reality, and they've cut themselves off from facts and truth. That stuff no longer matters to them. They go to church and don't listen to a fucking thing that Jesus says in the Bible. As a matter of fact, they would have nailed him up again if Jesus was here today. They would say, oh, he's a communist. They'd ship him off to El Salvador. Never to be seen from again. Oh, there's a guy today that's completely disappeared. I don't know if you heard this. He's an immigrant. They grabbed him, and supposedly they sent him to El Salvador. But now his name is nowhere to be found, and he's just gone. His family hasn't heard from him in months now, a couple months. No one knows where he is, and I said they can't find his name in records or anything. No, it's a clerical error. We just misplaced the guy. Can't find him. This is our country. How do we allow this to happen? I mean, and the fact that no one is doing anything. You know what I mean? Democrats can't really do anything except bitch and complain and moan, but they ain't got no real power right now. And like I said, you need like 5 Republicans to turn on this guy, and then nobody will because they're fucking terrified. That's why he pardoned the January 6 people. That's why he let out the Proud Boys, and the people know they're out there. And the very idea that they're out there. And there's lots of people sending veiled threats in the mail to judge. I read a thing the other day that said, first of all, if you didn't know this, a judge's kid was killed by some crazy Trumper that went to go to kill this judge, and she wasn't there, and the kid opened the door, and they shot the kid, and he's dead now. Julia says, I'll be updating my passport short order. I just found my marriage license, found birth certificate, so I can get a real ID, then a passport. You're right, we're so fucked. Yes. Yes, we're fucked. And it's not even like, and I don't even mean like, I think, oh, I'm fucked, like they're going to kick down my door right now and come and drag me off somewhere. But I'm just saying systematically all the way up and down the chain. They're trying to, like I said, they're trying to cripple every major institution in this country. Universities, like I said, the health care system, the food safety system, all regulations, all the fucking air safety. This place, if we let them do what they want, this place will be like a hellhole. It'll be like Blade Runner or some science fiction movie where the sky is fucking purple because there's so much air pollution. And then in the meantime, they go, we'll make them get rid of all the dyes in the food because we care about your health. And the stupid people go, yeah, they care about our health. It's unbelievable. Just how fucking dumb it is. Never had a passport. Me neither, Stella. Never had one either, but I'm about to get one. As I said, I'm going to start off with a little, like I said, I'm going to get a passport. I'm going to do a little jaunt to Canada. I'm going to do some comedy up there. I'm going to see what that's like. And if it's good, then I'm fucking... as soon as I'm able to, I believe. But I can't. Once again, timing. Timing fucks me up every time. It's like, what? This country is, it's about time to leave, and I can't because I'm shackled here. For God knows how long, you know. Like, I mean, I'm not like, oh, I hope it's a long time. I mean, you know, but if it wasn't for my mom, I'd been gone already. I would already be gone because I said I don't really. I know where this is heading. I seen it a long time ago, and I fought so hard to try to, and I was doing a good job of it. I said I was doing well, and then I got kneecapped by Facebook. Banned me for life. I got too. I was too successful. And then I just don't. Now I just post news. I don't. It's not worth all the trouble to do it again. But you know what's weird? Is all that time that I was doing Facebook and I had like millions and millions of engagements. I was doing really well, and I was actually kind of famous on the internet. People knew who I was. I never got a dime from any of that. But here lately, I get $5 last month, and this month I got $5 from Facebook. Say I made $10 now from Facebook, but I never made a penny. The times that I was like really doing a lot of shit on the internet and had a lot of followers and shit. Yeah, see, Castell says disabled people are basically stuck here anyway. Yeah, exactly. Like my mom's not gonna go to Canada with me. You know, she wants to sit here on the couch and do her time till she checks out. I mean, that's what I gather from the time I've been here. And no, I don't even mean that, Castell. I'm just saying I find it odd that I had a page with 25,000 followers, and I would regularly post memes, and you look at the insights, and they'd be like, this meme has been seen by 4.3 million people or some shit. Like my shit would get around, and I never got a penny from any of that. I got banned for life, and now I said Adam Chancellor was like my most loyal followers were there already because that's where I went when I would go to jail. But I lost lots and lots of people. And then they didn't know I was Adam Chancellor. They didn't know me as Bruce Leonard. And I didn't want to start another page and start all over. Plus I was pissed off at Facebook, so I was like, I'll just stay on this, you know. And now I'm not. I said that page isn't like killing it. And yet I'm making money off of it somehow. I don't know how. I mean, it's not like a lot of money, but it's more than nothing. And like, I had a lot of shit going on before, and I never got a penny. So that's what's weird to me. The internet is weird because I'll tell you something funny happened. This is true. Most things I say, I mean, I don't make shit up, but you don't have to. Yesterday was well, I went to Easter, obviously, at my aunt's house, saw my family, and saw my dad. And my dad's birthday is today, which reminds me I need to text him. But he was like, "You want to come over?" Because I had to work today, so I couldn't hang out with him today. But I was off on Monday, so he was like, "You want to come over on Monday and go fishing?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So the last couple of times I've seen my dad, like I took him to the basketball game or whatever, he was like, "Check it out, I got this gun." Well, first of all, you got to know, here in Kentucky and Ohio, you can just carry a gun. You don't need a permit or anything. You can just carry a gun around. It's permitless carry. I could put a gun in my pants and walk out the door. It's totally legal. So my dad has a gun all the time now, which he didn't always have a gun, my dad. He never had a gun when he was younger. Like, he wasn't a gun dude. My dad was actually he'd fight, if he had to. But he never had a gun. But now he's older. He's got a gun all the time. But anyway, so every time I see him now, the last couple of times, he's like, "Oh, I got this gun. Check it out. It's a little pocket rocket gun, And he'd be like, "Oh, I bought it. Blah, blah, whatever." So on Easter, he starts talking about this gun he's buying. And he's like, "It's my new hobby." It's like, "Why are you buying all these guns?" And he's like, "It's my new hobby." So I can't play basketball. He used to always play basketball. But he's old now and he can't play anymore. And he just really just stopped. I guess he just realized he can't do it anymore. So just I could never leave my forest anyway. I plan on hunting in the suburbs. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, so my dad says, "Oh, this is my new hobby," and his wife, and my stepmom, she's like, "Yeah, he's she's like pissed off about it because he spent all his money on guns." Anyway, so I go over there on Monday, and she's at work, so it's just me and him. And he's like, "Oh, you want to see these guns I bought?" And he's like, "Yeah," and he has some pretty cool ones. Like a couple of them are like from 1890, like the old kind of revolvers that like gamblers would carry. Like one had no hammer so that it wouldn't snag on your pocket, and it breaks open in the front and the barrel comes down. I mean, they're cool. But he's like, "Oh, check it out." And so he showed me all these guns. And so I asked him, I go, "Hey, Dad, how did you get into, this all of a sudden?" And he goes, he's like, "I can't play basketball anymore." And he's like, so one day, he wanted to buy a gun, so he went online, and he found this website where there's a gun auction. And so he bid on this gun, and he wound up winning the auction and buying the gun. But anyway, he says, after that, I started looking, I just kept going back and looking at the guns that were on auction at auction. So it's like, okay, so it's kind of like a gambling thing if you're at auction. I'm sure you get off on bidding and hoping that you win. And then he says, this is when I knew. He goes, "Why don't you just buy them?" He goes, "I go on YouTube and I look up the guns and I look at people that made videos about the guns." And then he starts saying he knows all the names of these dudes. I was like, the gun influencers? They're like, okay, I got it now. You down a rabbit hole. My dad got sucked down an internet rabbit hole, and they're like, that's how they work. It's like, all of a sudden, he just wanted to buy a gun, and then all of a sudden he's auctioning a gun, and then he's watching guys, shoot the gun and tell if how good they are or aren't, and then he's like, I don't just watch one, I watch like 10. And then he starts naming them, and I was like, the gun influencers? I was like, come on, man. This is like, you're fully down a rabbit hole here. I told his wife, my stepmom, I said, yeah, I figured out what happened. I said, he went down a rabbit hole. And he's like, well, it could be worse. He could have got QAnon or turned into a Nazi. It said he's just buying these guns. And this is the most hilarious part. He says, oh, I'm buying these guns. They're cool, they're old, but because they're old, they can't shoot like modern ammunition because it'll fucking blow it up, So you got to buy these special black powder bullets that cost like 75 cents a piece. So a box of ammunition, is like $200. He's like, I can't shoot them because I can't afford to shoot them. And they're not like real powerful because you're using like old black powder ammunition. So it's like they're also not very good for self-defense. It's like, so basically they're fucking useless. It's like, dude, you playing. It's a museum piece, It's like, oh, there's a gun from 1800 that you hang on your wall or whatever. It's like, because you can't target shoot it because it costs so much money, and you can't use it for self-defense because you shoot somebody that just keep coming at you because it's not very powerful. You got 5 shots, but still. It's not like a modern 9mm. You shoot a guy, he's going to fall back. He's going to fall down. Like, he's just going to stop coming at you. Like, these guns would be like Halloween. You just be popping, shooting the guy, and you just keep walking forward. He said he shot a phone book with one of these guns, and like it went in, like this far or something. He's like, you shoot a 22, you go right through it. Like, it's like, it's like a really aggressive pellet gun. I mean, you may or may not be able to kill a guy, but like, it's probably one of those guns where, like, if you shot me like right here, it wouldn't even go through my skull because it's not powerful enough. It would just like go into skin and like, and meanwhile, I said, the guy's still coming at you. That's when you need the sword. I'm telling you, everybody thinks I'm crazy about wanting the samurai sword. I'm telling you right now, if shit hits the fan, you're going to wish you had one. When there's people all about wanting to do whatever, I still haven't decided, like, what to do if there was an apocalypse. It's like, what do you do? Do you go off into the woods somewhere and like try to fortify a place and like sit out there and just wait around, and just survive and like, kill anybody that comes toward you or whatever? Or do you like fortify your house and try to stay inside your house and then like, then attack, people are going to try to break into your house and you got to fight them off? Or do you just wander around? Like Fallout, where you're just like walking around and whatever happens, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, I haven't thought about it. That's why I wanted the sword, because I think that the wandering, I've never been one to just sit in one place. That's Wandering around is definitely more dangerous, but more exciting than sitting around in a cave somewhere, all day and night. Like, that's the thing about doomsday prepping and Holocaust surviving and all that shit is like, come on, man, it's gonna get boring as fuck real fast. It's like there's no TVs on, there's no, unless you got 1,000 books that you haven't read, in a stockpile. It's like, what the fuck are you gonna do? You're gonna sit around staring at a cave wall, for so long, you're gonna go insane. I mean, you're probably on the borderline going insane anyway because the apocalypse is happening. But I'm saying if you just sit in a cave, you're definitely gonna go insane. So I said, take your chances wandering around. At least you see some shit, You might meet some of if there's any cool people left on Earth. you might bump into them. Yeah, I got 1,000 books, but I've read them all. I don't want to sit around reading books I've already read. I got about, I think, 10 books now maybe that I haven't read. All the rest of them I read. I don't know. Like I said, it just seems like it would get real boring real fast. And then you're like, what's the point of that? Sitting around. Again, you said VHS, DVDs. Yeah, but how long is that going to last? Plus, your fucking car batteries aren't going to last so long. Sooner or later, there'll be no fucking... Can't just sit around and watch my cock get smaller. Yeah. It just seems like you go insane. If you just sat around alone all the time, in a cave, I said, or boarded up inside your house, you're going to go nuts, man. Out west, like I said, out west, there's lots and lots and lots of fucking places where there's no fucking people. Yeah, well, I said, I went fishing with my dad yesterday. I caught a fish, and I was like, hey, I know I can still do it. I haven't caught a fish in like 20 years, probably. I haven't gone fishing. I was like, hey, I caught a fish. It was like, hey, it wasn't a very big one, but I'm saying I caught one. Yeah, you're going to sit around jerking off or whatever for so long. That's what I'm saying. You're just going to be crazy. Sitting around alone, jerking off all the time. That's what a crazy person does. Yeah, sure. The only thing about gathering is you gotta learn what not to gather. You're like, oh, these mushrooms are good. Yeah, 90% of mushrooms, wild mushrooms, poisonous as fuck to kill you. You can't. Don't just be eating no mushrooms you find. Most people don't know that's why they fucking die. I haven't done that in a long time. So we fish sometimes, but I never cut one up. It's not that hard. I used to do it when I was a kid all the time. Haven't done it in a long time, but I probably butchered the first couple, that I did. That's not really true. All you really got to do is scale them. Some fish don't even need to be scaled because they got skin. It just depends what kind. Like if you catch a trout, it's got skin on it. You just gut it and fry it. You can eat the whole thing. But if you catch like a bluegill or a bass or something, they got scales on them, so you gotta scrape them off with a knife. But yeah, hunting and gathering, that's what you're gonna be doing. Because I'm not carrying around fucking 1,000 pounds of canned food. You kiss my ass. I'm not doing that. And like I said, I grew up in Kentucky, so when I was a kid, I went squirrel hunting. I've cleaned a squirrel. I said fish, clean fish. We used to eat shit. Candace to get some berries, yes. Then maybe yes, but some of them are fucking not sweet, man. You gotta taste them. Some of them are really bitter. It's like, when I was in New York, there was where we got this like one room fucking hostel place, and out back there was Concord grape bushes. You can go out there and pick these purple grapes. They were pretty good actually. Um, Not bad. Um, yeah, berries and shit is like. It doesn't even matter about the can. I'm just saying I'm not carrying around a bunch of canned food, fucking jars of shit. And then some people have those MREs, or like the military meals, that when you put water in them and whatever. But that's just nasty, man. If I'd eat that for eternity, I'd rather just fucking die. If you want to be honest. That's what I mean. Is like you need the stimulation of hunting or fishing or gathering, or so you got something to do. Otherwise, you're just gonna be sitting around staring at the wall, like I said, and losing your fucking mind. I mean, your mind's probably half gone anyway, because once society's gone and everything is, gone to shit, that's gonna fucking affect your psyche. A little bit. Most definitely. Those urges you get sometimes. There's somebody, you go, I hate this fucking person so much. I'd rather just kill him. But society's gone. You don't got to stifle that urge. You'd be like, you know what? Fuck you. Just kill this mother. Yes, deer would be the best bet if you got a good rifle. But I was saying that's why the same as why you need a sword, because no matter how much ammunition you got, it ain't gonna last forever. At some point, you're gonna run out of bullets. Period. And you need something for when that happens. That's why you need a samurai sword. God damn it, I'm going with this shit. You need it. It should be an essential piece of anyone's survival kit. Because, like I said, sooner or later you're going to run out of bullets. And even if you have a gun, it ain't no good. You ain't got no bullets. And even if these guys have stocked up 10,000 bullets, whatever, it's like they ain't. If you survive long enough, you're going to run out of ammunition. Yes, if you can make arrows and a bow, yes, it would be a useful skill, for sure. For sure. I don't look at it like once everything's gone, and there's no healthcare system, and let's just say it's like a Book of Eli or Mad Max situation, like. You're not going to live there's not going to be many old people. You're going to die. It's going to go back to like where the average lifespan is like 50. If you're 50, you're fucking old. Like, Julia says, you ever see that movie Rude Awakening with Eric Roberts and Cheech? Bunch of hippies living in the wilderness, growing their own weed, hunting and gathering. That's what I'd be doing. Yeah. Well, I would think that little communities like that would crop up, but it would be like the old days. Like these groups would be all insulated and tribal, and people be fighting each other over shit. It's like, I say human beings ain't changed that much. You take all this away, you're going to revert right back to what they were before. I said there'll be groups, most likely divided. That's why I said it's going to want to be divided by race somehow or something. It's ridiculously stupid. And you'll be stuck with hanging out with people you don't even fucking like. That's why I said I'm going to wander around alone. I'm not a I've never been a big group guy anyway. Like, I was an only child. And we moved about every year and a half till I was in like the 8th grade. So I learned to be alone for the most part. And you don't get attached to people because they just take you away from them. And then once that develops inside of you, you just become self-sufficiently alone. Like, I'm sure these people must feel like, I mean, it's easy to be on the internet and people talk all this shit. Oh yeah, they should fucking, they deserve to go to El Salvador, blah 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 blah. But see, these people have no empathy whatsoever. They can't imagine for 1 second what it must be like for somebody who's not a gang member or a criminal, who just gets jacked up by the fucking ICE, and all of a sudden they're on a plane, and now all of a sudden they're in a CCOT prison. It's fucking terrible to happen to anybody. You're like, hey, I'm not in the gang, but I didn't even get a chance to say I wasn't. It's evil. There ain't no other word for it. It's pure evil to want to do that to people. Like I said, now, again, they'll say, oh, you're with the gang members. And it's like, no, that's not the case at all. If you can prove that someone's a gang member, like I said, take them on down there. I don't give 2 fucks. But that ain't what's happening. That ain't what's happening. And that's why they're fighting so hard about it, because they know if they have to go to court, they'll say, how did you think this guy was a gang member? He had a bull's hat and tattoos. That's not enough. So you have no proof he's in a gang. Well, we don't really have a proof. But he's got tattoos and a bull's hat. You're like, and for that you want to send him to CCOT prison? Really? That's what you call evil. There's no other way around it. Pure evil. Why do you think that they don't want to bring this guy back? Because, like I said, they ain't got no proof that he's a gang member. Yes, Questel, the Chicago Bulls basketball team. Yeah, Chicago Bulls hat, and everybody on Fox News is going, everybody knows you wear a Chicago Bulls hat. That's MS-13. Really? Perhaps I just like Michael Jordan. Like I was saying before, it's like, does that mean if I put a Bulls hat on, I'm an MS-13 sympathizer now? You know, are you fucking kidding me? That's what I mean. Is they could never pass this muster in court. That's why they don't want to go to court, because they know they'll fucking fail. There aren't 5 million illegal immigrant gang member criminals in this fucking country. Okay? Period. Like when they said, oh, he's using this Alien Enemies Act because he's declaring the Tre and Nicaragua or whatever as a terrorist, and MS-13s is a terrorist organization, and this is an invasion. And you're like, okay, how many of these people you think there are? Compared to the millions of people who are picking fruit and shit. You know. There's not that many of these fucking people. That's the point. And so, to keep their bullshit story alive, they have to grab up innocent people and send them down there and say, look, we got rid of all these criminal gang members. And they're not criminal gang members. Now, like I said, you want to deport people, that's another conversation. You want to tell somebody, hey, you're from Cuba, you got to go back to Cuba. And they take you back to Cuba and they drop you off the airport and you walk out. Now, I may or may not agree with that, but that's much more acceptable than going, oh, well, I guess you got to go to Seacott prison for the rest of your life. For what? Because I came here to pick oranges in Florida or something? You know, what the fuck? And the media infuriates me, man. Just because the way they just act like this is all. There ain't nothing normal about any of this. There's certainly not normal about, like I said, gutting every fucking thing that keeps us safe from anything. It's unbelievable. And that the Senate and the Congress, I mean, they're not going to do anything. You know, they're just sitting here while he tanks the. He's going to send us into a Great Depression. He's not going to just fuck us up. He's going to fuck up the whole world. He already is. They already downgraded the global growth forecast because of fucking dumbass Trump disrupting all the trade and supplies around the world. Here's a bit of good news, though. There's always a bit. I try to always bring a nugget of good news. Today was Tesla's quarterly earnings report, and Tesla lost 71% of its business. Excuse me. Down 70%. Oh my God. It's fucking beautiful. Julia says the evangelicals are really trying hard to bring about the biblical end times. Yes. Yes. See, that's the other thing that people don't get is Hegseth and these people. They're the Christian nationalists. They're fucking white ring. Well, they're the Klan. And you tell people that and they say you're crazy. You know, they're fucking crazy. But look at them. The right-wing Christians, white supremacists, nationalists. The Klan was walking around with America First signs in the early 100s, you know, 1910 or whatever. They had their hoods on there. You couldn't see who they were. But they were those people. They were all, I guarantee if you took them hoods off, they were all judges and cops and, you know, people in power, the local congressmen, you know, city council. They just have their hoods off now. This is the Klan, bro. And yeah, they wanted to bring about the end time. I don't know. I never read the Torah, so I don't know how that story goes. What's the end times in the Torah, Julia? Is it similar? Because as Trump and Netanyahu could team up, try to bring it about. I don't care what you believe, but if you believe in God, and you can look around you and realize God abandoned us a long fucking time ago, bro. He was like, well, really fucked that up. We can just move on. There's another planet, 500 million light years away I can fuck around on over here. So he just left us behind. Because, as you can see, we just keep repeating the same shit over and over and over. It's like these people are incapable of learning anything. And then people say, oh, there's Christianity. You came and it saved us. It's like, look at the world, dude. It's not any better than it was before the Christianity. mean, it might be a little better, but there isn't Armageddon in the Jewish religion. That's something Christians come up with. Seriously. Oh, see, that's what I was going to say. I wouldn't think so, right? So in the Torah, God just wants you to keep eating crackers and fish in a jar forever. Just follow these traditions forever. No pork. Forever. There's no end story. Usually there's some end story in most religions. I don't know why I never read the Torah. I read the Bible and I read the Quran. I read some Buddhist things. I used to be really fascinated by religion. You study it enough and you realize it's all the same. I mean, it's just a way to control people. It's like you know, hey, Gronk was hitting Bonk with a rock in the head, and they were like, hey man, you just killed your brother. You can't do that. So they come up with these stories and say something bad will happen to you if you do that. It's like you got to try to mellow out. And that's what I mean about the apocalypse. Bring it all the way back around. It's like, once society's gone, all those rules are gone. Those Christians will kill you fast. So, you know, don't think, oh, they're the good ones. Like, no. They'll just be in bigger groups. But they'll fucking be doing horrible shit. Guaranteed. Because like I said, the rules will be gone. There ain't nothing stopping you from doing whatever you want to do at that point. But that's what religion was made for in the first place. I said, that's what I mean. People are out of control. And they're like, these people are out of control. How are we going to rein them in? And you go, hey, you need to convince them that something really bad's going to happen to them if they're fucking shitbag, you know, assholes. Christianity has gone all the way 360. It's like now they don't even listen to the words of Jesus. Like I said, anybody that tries to help other people, they call him a communist. They're Christians, but they're it's like the pro-life ones. Like, oh, you shouldn't have abortion because every baby is sacred. And then you go, well, what about free lunch for these kids? Fuck them kids. It's like, I thought you were pro-life. Yes, she should be forced to have that baby that I will subsequently starve by cutting off her benefit. Food stamps is communist, you know. These people are the biggest hypocrites that ever walked the fucking earth. The Pope died, it's all over the TV. Oh, the Pope died, it's terrible. It is. I mean, the Pope was obviously a good dude. And there's lots of good people in religion. But let's not forget, the Catholics also fucked thousands of children, you know. And then covered it up. They didn't try to cleanse it out. They just kept those guys moving them around, you know, like and we don't even talk about that anymore. It's like it didn't even happen. You know, it's like, really? Julia says, I never understood how Catholics can sin 6 days a week, being absolved on Sunday. Watch what you be. Confession! Think about that. Think about having to be a priest, have to sit in that booth and listen to people come in there and tell you all the horrible shit they did. All day. Why would you sign up for that job? I mean, I'm sure you get some good stories out of it, but it's like, seems like a shitty job. Yeah, think about that. You're Catholic. You just fucking be a jerk off all day. 6 days a week. You go to church. You on Sunday, it's Mass, and you sit there for 2 hours, and then you sip that wine, and you eat that cracker, and then you go over there, and you tell that dude every the shitty things you've done all week. And hey, I am now clean. And like she said, repeat. I'm gonna go out tomorrow. Start all over. It's the same thing as the people that say, that if Ted Bundy or somebody like that at the very end was like, you know what? I repent. I accept Jesus and I'm sorry for everything I did. That he gets absolved from his sins and gets to go to heaven. Fuck you. Fuck off. To me, man, if that's how God is, fuck him, man. You're like, oh yeah, well sure he was terrible and he killed 150 women and tortured them to death and but hey, he accepted me at the end there. So hey, he's here with us. Fuck you, man. That shit ain't cool. That is some petty shit. Like that's some Trump shit. Like, he's groveling in front of Trump. He's like, well, I forgive all the things you did. And you grovel for me. The God's like the same way. He's like, yes, do you ever see that movie? I forget the name of it. With Sean Penn and Susan Sarandon when he's on death row and she's like a nun. She's ministering to him. It's a really fucking good movie. I can't remember the name of it. It's kind of like that, where like at the end, right before he's about to get electrocuted or whatever, he starts crying and he he'd been lying the whole time, saying he didn't do any of that shit, and then he's like, yes, I did it. And he confesses to her, and he says, yes, I accept Jesus Christ. This is called Dead Man Walking. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, he accepts, he confesses to her. She's a nun, so obviously she's Catholic. It's a true story. She ministers to him the whole time, and he lies to her the whole time, says he didn't do it, he was framed, or, whatever the fucking comics always say, they didn't do it. And then, right before he's about to go to the electric chair, he breaks down. He's like, oh, I did it. He explains to her, he confesses. He tells her everything that happened and how he killed this girl or whatever. And then he says, yes, I accept Jesus as Savior. And she's like, okay, you'll go to heaven now. And you're like, really? That's all it took? After he lied to you for years and years? You just... Yes, you're absolved now of all your horrible fucking deeds. If that's how God works, I said, fuck him. That's what I say. If you're intellectually... it's a great movie, actually. Yes, it's called Dead Man Walking. I've always felt... from studying all the religion, I don't really think it matters if you believe in God or you don't believe in God. And even if you do believe in God, the way to find him ain't through other people. Other people are deceitful. He tells you it in the Bible. The other people are horrible, deceitful. You can't believe them. They're sinners. It's like the way to get to God is through yourself. And church is a social thing in a form of social control and thought control. That's why they're always trying to proselytize and convert people, because they need numbers. They're stronger in numbers. It's like, you gotta become part of something bigger than yourself. That's what they always say. Yeah? Yes, and then give us 10% of your income. They always want money. You know what I'm saying? They always want money. I've never been to a church where they didn't ask you for money. We even did, when I was a stagehand, we did this religious concert thing. And it was a concert like any other concert, except for the bands weren't very good and they were singing songs about Jesus. But in the middle of the concert, swear, they were like, all right now, everybody give us money. They're like, we take checks, make a check out to the and they're passing around buckets. People put money in checks and shit in them. And I was going, see, this is where they fucking lose me every time. It's like, God needs your money. It's like, tax free, too. They collect all this money, don't pay no taxes. And then the preacher, he's got a fucking Cadillac, or Escalade. $5,000 bunch, you have 6 more babies, right? Exactly. Well, that's Catholic. That's what's hilarious. They converted all the Mexicans to Catholic, and then the Mexicans have all these kids, and they're like, why are all these fucking Mexicans running around? Well, you fucking told him to do it. It's unbelievable. That's the kind of thing. That's just said. There ain't no logic in these people. None. You're like, you told him to have all these babies. Why are all these Mexicans running around? We gotta get rid of all these people. Well, you did convert them to Catholicism. You ever seen Mexicans? They got like Virgin Mary statues on the fucking dashboard of their car. Like, they're fucking Catholics, bro. Because the Spaniards fucking forced them into which is better than, I guess, I said, slaughtering people on the side of a pyramid, which is what they were doing before. But was it better? I don't know. They sure converted the fuck out of them, though, because, like I said, they're hardcore. You can't go to any Mexican store or anything. They got like Virgin Mary candles, Virgin Mary statue that you put on the dashboard of your car. It's like a lot of Catholics, they worship Virgin Mary more than they worship Jesus. I always thought that was a weird story. Right? Woman comes home. Look, I assure you, I have never had sex with a man. And especially not you, you know this. But I'm pregnant with God's child. And he said that story, he said, okay. He takes care of her for 9 months, and she has a baby, and 5 minutes later, 3 dudes show up in presents. Who the fuck are the dudes show up in presents? Who the fuck are these dudes? How do they know you're having a baby? Why do they have presents? This story is weird now, all of a sudden. Yes, I have gold and frankincense. Don't mind the myrrh guy. He just likes to watch. Our Lady of Perpetual Suffering. Yes, exactly. The Penguin was always my favorite. And the Blues Brothers, the nun with the penguin. They called her the Penguin. She's always hitting them with a ruler. The world is a bizarre place. Bizarro place. But if you don't know this, before I go out to break, tell you the news because I didn't tell it earlier, the deportations are stopped. No, this is interesting. It was 9-0 the first time they stopped it, and now they stopped these deportations altogether, 7-2. They lost Thomas and Alito. Who are coincidentally the two most bought off judges. Shocker. It's all so predictable now. It's like all of a sudden two of them are, oh, we're all for it. But anyway, so they're stopped. They were going to ship them off on Saturday, but the Supreme Court stopped them in the middle of the night. Said 7-2. They have to stop, and they're supposed to. Then it went back to they stopped the deportations, and the case went back to the court, and now the court said today that they have to give these guys 21 days notice, and then that they're going to be deported because they were trying to just make them sign this paper. Just sign this paper. That was in English, so they couldn't read it. Just sign this and get on the bus. So the ACLU went to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court stopped them. And now the judge said they have to give them 21 days. And I don't know what they're going to do about a hearing or something. And they keep saying, oh, they're going to have a trial for all these people. You don't have to have a trial. What you have to do is show me some evidence that this person is a terrorist or is in MS-13 or whatever else. If you got his criminal record, you got all this other shit, fucking bring it in. And like I said that before, I'm willing to accept that, and a judge and look at each file case by case or whatever and say he is or he isn't a gang member, and it's not ideal, but it's better than nothing. There should be a standard of proof that you have to have before you just ship someone off to a third world country and put them in a black hole prison. It shouldn't just be like, hey, we say that this guy's... No, that's not enough. I'd like more, but I'm willing to compromise. Because, actually, if you ask me, if these people haven't committed a crime, I find the whole thing abhorrent. Like I said, if there's MS-13 people that are in prison right now, gather them up. Send them down there. Don't give a shit. You got some under arrest and they got trials underway. When their trials are over, send them down there. I don't give a fuck if they're found guilty. Just snatching people up off the street, sending them down there, with nothing. That's you can't do that. It's unbelievable. Anyway, let me get out of here. Thank you guys for watching, as always. And I said I'll be back on Thursday at 6 o'clock. And hopefully it'll still be legal. This is Bruce Leonard, Leans Left. Well, it's still legal. I'm Bruce Leonard. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Good night.